Where is the water? 10, 20, 30, and 40. Well, after all the planning, this is what I ended up paddling. And starting and finishing Everglades City, I did stick to my permit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chickies. That's the experience that I was after. Now, to be honest, it felt a little slow in some spots, so I tried to do some extra paddling. Um, but when I came back on the outer coast, I pretty much camped wherever I felt like it, just like up here in Alaska. So that's the important thing, though. You got to stick to your permit, especially on those chickies. They are definitely the limiting constraint, and you can see the distances as measured by Strava. Now, I saw that as an out and back. It just made sense to me. This is often billed as a 99-mile waterway. 113. Yeah, pretty close. And the way back, well, definitely shorter. Let's take the map out just for simplicity there. Yeah, you can see that. Well, I did have one big day. I had a 30-mile day between 7 and 8, or nearly 30 miles to Highland Beach, mostly because I didn't want to stay in Graveyard. I did not want to stay in a ground site after seeing what a ground site looked like. Yuck, mosquito trap. So again, on the outer coast, I'll point this out too. I originally said I was going to stay in Flamingo, but I didn't. And I just didn't see the point. The manatees were cute, but there's it's not really the kind of place. The camping, well, it's more like car camping there. So if you got your camping gear, just head out there to there, and you're good. Put the map back up there. Oops, there we are. And that was my route. And so you can check out those numbers and see see if it makes sense to you. But honestly, coming back and finishing and getting the car, this coastal route was a piece of cake. And it was a nice way to eliminate the very unnecessary car shuttle. Another representation I'll leave you with is this one. This is again what I actually ended up doing. Keeping in mind the time of year, this is November 23rd, so right around Thanksgiving, and it was hot, 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 hot. It did not cool down until, it didn't cool down at all. So here we are into December, and sweating day and night. So think about that when you're scheduling your trip. Okay, there's one more thing I've got to mention. Now, on the waterway, this was fantastic. I come down to here and says, the nightmare. Don't do it at low tide. Well, I was following the tide out here on the Broad River, so I figured it was going to be low tide. So I did what was suggested. I skipped this. This they call the nightmare. Well, I took the outer coast, and that's where I saw that really cool sandbar. That was kind of fun. And then I came up here. Looking back, I could see, yuck, that was terrible. Now, mind you, I could have just, let me move this down a little bit. I could have just come up the Harney River down here because that's where I was headed. But no, I wanted to stick to this because that was the adventure route that was lined up. But what I didn't know was that from here to here was almost impassable at low tide. Now, I read this warning, and I thought it just applied to here. But I am telling you, don't do this at low tide, or you'll end up looking like a mud bath, like I did back in my other pictures. All right, well, that's it. That's it for advice for today, and thanks for watching Honey Notes.